So, Sir is a well respected name in structural engineering and has made significant contribution through both his research and teaching. With a deep commitment to academic excellence, he has guided numerous Tech, Tech, and PhD students and published several impactful research papers in reputed journals. Known for his clarity of thought and innovative pedagogical methods, Sir is also actively involved in departmental development initiatives and collaborative research projects. So his sessions are always engaging, insightful, and grounded in both theory and practical applications. So we are truly privileged to have him us today as a resource person in this FDP. On behalf of Grace Valley College of Arts and Science and AMU, I welcome you, sir, and we look forward to learning from your expertise. So, sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Perhaps there is a problem of echo that I wanted to solve. I wanted to connect my voice through phone, but perhaps there is some issue. I am trying to resolve it.
Some technical issue. Some technical
Yes,
issue.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The session will already have started. It will be continued within seconds.
Am I audible, please?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. It's okay.
Okay, thank you. So I have put few queries. Somebody has started answering also.
Okay.
The answer is to be in Y or N for yes or no. But for question number 6, perhaps you have to write the choice as per your wish. And then there is a last question number 11, where you can put in some words that how to help your environment. So the topic which I have been given is climate change and problem of pollution, but it also has some issue about the biodiversity and all those. But I will focus on issue of climate change and problem of pollution. The queries are for knowing your idea about the issue, how much seriously you are taking this issue. Now we are all as working as teachers, and teacher is the first learner. We have learned throughout our life. We will keep on learning all through remaining life in teaching as well as even after that. So teacher is the first learner. This program.
Please, bilanguage. Hindi English.
Dr. Pawan has some issue.
Ye bilanguage, sir. Hindi and English.
Okay. I will do that. So educator need also some education, because we have to be well versed what is going on around us. So that's why the training which goes as a orientation program and refresher course, all these are to make us abreast with the latest what is going on in different subjects, as well as in subjects which are common for all. So for example, new education policy 2020 has a special focus on sustainable development and all-round development, unity and integrity of all knowledge. That is the motto, one of the motto of 2020 new education policy. So in that, in that concern, we are all here to have some updation of the issue of a very burning problem, that is the problem of climate change. The word climate change was the word of the year in 2019. Then in 2020, pandemic became the Oxford word of the year. Then 2021, resilience became the word. Then 2022, goblin. 2023, riz. And 2024, kindness. So climate has found as a word of the year in 2019. Now it was all started in 1824 when Joseph Fourier has studied that as per the distance which we have from the sun, the overall temperature, whatever temperature we have, it is from the solar energy. And the distance from the solar energy is going to control that how much average temperature, how much maximum temperature, how much minimum temperature you are going to have on your planet. So Joseph Fourier has said in 1824 that the distance which we have, with this distance, the earth must be much cooler. The average temperature of the earth is 20 degrees centigrade, average. It should have been minus 18 degree as per the distance from the sun we have of our planet Earth. He professed that there must be something which is warming the earth. There must be something which is acting as a blanket. कोई एक ऐसी चीज है जो कंबल की तरह काम कर रही है और अर्थ को उसने वार्म कर रखा है, वरना जो सन से, सूरज से हमारा डिस्टेंस है उस हिसाब से हमारे अर्थ को माइनस 18 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड होना चाहिए. In 1856, Eunice Foote, he said that the blanket which is there around the earth in the atmosphere is actually carbon dioxide, which traps heat and makes the earth warm. So this was another important finding. The third finding came from John Tyndall in 1860. He said that not only carbon dioxide, but there are many other gases which are acting as a blanket for the earth, and those gases are collectively called as greenhouse gases. Now, you must be knowing what is greenhouse. Greenhouse is actually made of glass for growing seedlings and small plants. The botanist, the agriculturist, the floriculturist, they all use greenhouses to grow plants from the seed. In greenhouse, which was used to be made up of glass, used to trap heat and carbon dioxide, which were bit beneficial for the plants to grow. Nowadays, we have greenhouse made up of plastic, and they are called as polyhouse. Even sometimes we use green color plastic sheets to make greenhouse. In 1896, Svante Arrhenius has predicted that there will be global warming. He predicted it in Sweden. In Europe, there was industrial revolution, and that industrial revolution was because of very good quality availability of the coal deposit. So they have burned coal for energy, and this coal has released carbon dioxide. Svante Arrhenius has foresaw the issue of carbon dioxide in atmosphere because of burning of coal. Even he suggested that the very cold climate of Europe can be overcome if we burn all the low-grade coal deposits of Europe. He suggested that if we burn all the coal deposits which are of low quality coal, then we will release immense amount of carbon dioxide, and the Europe, which is
bilanguage, हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश।
सर ज्यादातर लोग साउथ के हैं, नॉर्थ ईस्ट के हैं।
नहीं, हम आपके पड़ोसी भी हैं सर, हम आपके पड़ोसी भी हैं।
ठीक है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि अगर सारा कोल डिपॉजिट बर्न कर दिया जाए तो यूरोप की जो कोल्ड है दैट कैन बी ओवरकम। In 1938, Guy Calendar has proved that carbon dioxide is the real culprit which has warmed the earth. 1962, a book was published by Rachel Carson, which is known as Silent Spring. This is a book which is one of the most important book which has taken into consideration the problem of climate change and problem of loss of biodiversity. In 1978, United States National Academy of Science indicated that yes, there is a global warming, and then in 1985, United Nations has made an organization called as IPCC, Intergovernmental Protocol for Climate Change. Now I'll show you some of the newspaper cuttings which will let us know that what is happening around us. You can find the dates on which I have collected these newspaper cutting. For example, there is a news in 2018 that heat turns Shanghai streets into giant slumber party. यानी कि इतनी गर्मी हो गई कि एसी ने काम करना बंद कर दिया और लोगों को अपने मल्टी स्टोरी बिल्डिंग्स एंड फ्लैट से बाहर आके सड़क पे सोना पड़ा रात में। यूरोप में 2023 में इतनी गर्मी थी कि लोगों ने कहा कि इतनी गर्मी विदाउट क्लाइमेट चेंज हो नहीं सकती। यूरोप में जो कि कोल्ड क्लाइमेट का एरिया है, टेम्परेट रीजन का एरिया है, वहां के जो पेंटर्स थे वो जब अपनी पेंटिंग्स बनाते थे तो उसमें सनशाइन का को जरूर दिखाते थे, यानी कि सनशाइन एक लग्जरी थी। उस कोल्ड में अगर धूप निकल आती थी तो उसको लग्जरी समझा जाता था, लेकिन आज की तारीख में हीट हैज ओवरटेकन दैट लग्जरी। अब वही सनशाइन, वही हीट इतनी ज्यादा हो रही है कि अब यूरोपियंस जरा सा टेम्परेचर 35 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड या 33 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड तक पहुंचता है तो लोग जो है वो फाउंटेन पे और बीचेस पे पहुंच जाते हैं। तो अब बात ये है कि ये जो इशू है क्लाइमेट चेंज का, ये क्या सिर्फ एक न्यूज है? इज इट ओनली अ न्यूज, या ये एक फैक्ट है? और या अभी भी इसको बहुत से लोग कहते हैं कि ये होक्स है, यानी ये छलावा है, देयर इज नो क्लाइमेट चेंज। लेकिन आपने खुद अगर देखा हो कि जो गर्मी पिछले साल की और पिछले साल की ठंडक और इस साल की गर्मी, क्या आपकी पिछले सालों की गर्मी और ठंडक से डिफरेंट थी या नहीं थी? अब अर्थ पे जो वार्मिंग है, एक तो नेचुरल वार्मिंग है जो कि सन की हीट से हो रही है। आवर अर्थ इज थर्ड फ्रॉम द सन। फर्स्ट पे मरकरी है, फिर वीनस है, फिर अर्थ है, फिर मार्स है। तो वीनस का एवरेज टेम्परेचर है 165 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड, सॉरी मरकरी का 165 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड, वीनस का 465 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड, जो कि नंबर 2 पे है, बट इट इज हॉटर देन वीनस। अर्थ का जो टेम्परेचर है वो 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड एवरेज है, लेकिन जो रेंज है वो -60 टू +60 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड का है। मार्स का एवरेज टेम्परेचर -65 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड है, यानी जो 4th पोजीशन पे प्लैनेट है वो सन से इतना दूर हो गया कि वहां का टेम्परेचर माइनस में है. The temperature of Mars is in minus 65 degrees centigrade. So the life on the Earth is possible because of the temperature range of minus 60 to plus 60. There is nowhere this temperature range on any other planet, including Moon. So that's why there is no life on any other planet. Earth has the life, and not only because of the temperature, but also because of presence of water, and the water can be found in all the three states, that is liquid, solid, and vapor, because of this temperature range of minus 60 plus 60 degrees centigrade. We also have oxygen. We also have nitrogen oxide.
सर आपकी आवाज इको
And a very little, and a very little, and
सर
a
आपकी
very
आवाज
little
इको हो रही है आपकी
carbon dioxide. And a very little carbon dioxide we have, that is 0.004%. Now this 0.004% is very less out of all the gases we have. Almost 78% is nitrogen oxide on the Earth, 21% is oxygen, and in 1% we have all the gases, including carbon dioxide, which is 0.004%. दिस 0.004% में जो जरा सा भी इंक्रीज हो जा रहा है वो हमारी ग्लोबल वार्मिंग को बढ़ा रहा है. अकेले कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को ब्लेम नहीं करना है, बट ऑल्सो मीथेन गैस एंड वाटर वेपर, ये तीनों गैसेस जो हैं वो हमारे ग्लोबल वार्मिंग का काज हैं, जो कि जरूरी भी हैं. दे आर required also to warm the earth, because if they are not there, then the temperature will drop to minus 18 degrees centigrade, and again the life will not be very easily possible. So there is a climate change issue which is well versed, and not only we have changed the weather and climate of the earth, our actions, they have also started impacting the moon. Now the Earth system which we have, the Earth system is made up of different spheres. At the top we have atmosphere. In fact, above atmosphere we also have magnetosphere. Then we have biosphere, in which we have all the life. Then we have hydrosphere, which is having all the waters in all the three states. Then we have lithosphere, the ground on which we are living. And below that we have asthenosphere, which is a molten state. And then up to center of the earth we have barysphere. All these spheres, they are interacting with each other, and in this interaction this earth system is operating. The human beings have added one more sphere. The humanity has added one more sphere, which is called as anthroposphere या built sphere. यानी हमने वायुमंडल और फिर जो है हमारा जो बायोस्फीयर है और फिर जो हमारा हाइड्रोस्फीयर है, इन सब में से मटेरियल लेके एक और स्फीयर क्रिएट कर दिया, एंथ्रोस्फीयर. और हाइड्रोस्फीयर और एटमॉस्फेयर दोनों को हमने पॉल्यूट कर दिया, जिसमें से हमें पानी मिल रहा है और सांस लेने के लिए ऑक्सीजन मिल रही है. इफ यू कैन सी द पिक्चर विच इज ऑन द राइट साइड, all are buildings. Only one green patch you can see of a tree. So what we have done, we have removed the biosphere and we have put in an anthrosphere or built sphere. Construction is going on all around us. Build, baby, build. This slogan has been taken from Drill Baby Drill, which is emphasizing the requirement of...
सही आई डोंट, मैं आपको नहीं देख सकता.
So please continue.
So what we have done, we have constructed a lot. and in this we have polluted all our other spheres. Now, lithosphere is the ground over which we are living. The top 200 kilometers from the top surface to 200 kilometers is called as lithosphere. Below that, we have 800 kilometers of asthenosphere, and then remaining 5,371 kilometers is almost biosphere. Normally, the internal structure of the Earth is upper crust, lower crust, upper mantle, lower mantle, outer core, inner core. ये एक स्ट्रक्चर है अर्थ का. लेकिन अपर क्रस्ट के दोनों पार्ट और थोड़ा सा पार्ट मेंटल को मिला के लिथोस्फीयर बनता है, और फिर जो अपर मेंटल का बाकी पार्ट है वो एस्थेनोस्फीयर बनता है. ये हमारे लिए इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है कि इनके आपस के इंटरैक्शन से हमारे अर्थक्वेक और वोल्केनिज्म होती है. उसका भी एक इंपॉर्टेंस है हमारे क्लाइमेट को कंट्रोल करने में. अब हमारे जो प्रेसिडेंट हैं, वर्ल्ड के मोस्ट स्ट्रॉन्ग कंट्री के प्रेसिडेंट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप, जब ये पिछले टर्म पे आए थे तो इन्होंने ये कहा कि साहब क्लाइमेट चेंज कोई ऐसी खास चीज नहीं है. क्लाइमेट चेंज कोई ऐसी स्पेशल चीज नहीं है. जाड़ा, गर्मी, बरसात तो हर साल होता है. What he said that winter, summer, spring and rainy season keep on coming every year. So what is the issue of climate change? So actually climate change is within winters what was the average temperature, within summer what was the average temperature, within rainy season how much rain has taken place. So that is the climate change. Now climate change, as of today we are facing the global warming. But it can be global cooling, it can be excessive precipitation, it can also be change in the wind direction. कोई भी चीज क्लाइमेट चेंज हो सकती है. और अर्थ जो कि 4,550 मिलियन ईयर ओल्ड है, इसमें ये क्लाइमेट चेंज मोर देन 1,000 टाइम्स हो चुका है. लेकिन वो जो क्लाइमेट चेंज हुआ है उसके होने में 20 से 25 मिलियन ईयर्स लगे हैं, 50 मिलियन ईयर्स लगे हैं. इन 1 मिलियन ईयर वी हैव 10 लाख ईयर्स. लेकिन ये जो क्लाइमेट चेंज आज हम फेस कर रहे हैं ये सिर्फ 200 साल में हुआ है. दैट इज द इशू. क्लाइमेट चेंज इज समथिंग वेरी नॉर्मल, बट दैट नेचुरल क्लाइमेट चेंज टेक्स मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर्स टू टेक प्लेस. बट we are changing the climate in the only 200-300 years of scale. Now the climate change is there. That is one thing. We have to see that this climate change is natural. It can be natural also. There are different natural factors, natural causes which can bring in the climate change. But there is an anthropogenic cause also. Human-induced climate change is more important as of today as compared to the natural. So in the coming slides, we will try to see that what could be the natural cause, what could be the anthropogenic cause of these climate change. We have got some direct data of almost 150 years. Climate change के लिए टेम्परेचर को मेजर करना है. टेम्परेचर को मेजर करने के लिए थर्मामीटर होना चाहिए. तो एक तो हमारे पास थर्मामीटर जब इन्वेंट हो गया, उसके बाद का रिकॉर्ड है क्लाइमेट चेंज, जिसको हम डायरेक्ट एविडेंस कह रहे हैं. और कुछ हमारे पास इनडायरेक्ट एविडेंसेस हैं जो हमने दूसरे साइंटिफिक तरीकों से वर्कआउट किया है कि पिछले 1 साल में क्लाइमेट चेंज कैसे हुआ और कितना हुआ. अब आपको राइट साइड पे एक न्यूज आइटम दिख रहा है. दिस ईयर्स जनवरी वार्मेस्ट ग्लोबली इन 175 ईयर्स. तो इस तरीके के डेटा रोज न्यूज में आ रहे हैं. अब क्या हम क्लाइमेट चेंज को चेक कर सकते हैं? क्या हम इस क्लाइमेट चेंज को, जो कि मोस्टली बिकॉज ऑफ एंथ्रोपोजेनिक एक्टिविटीज हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज हैं, कैन वी चेक इट, कैन वी कंट्रोल इट? दिस इज द इशू. अब बात तो बहुत हो रही है क्लाइमेट चेंज को लेके, रोज कुछ ना कुछ होता है, लेकिन एक्शन के नाम पे कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. इट इज अ मैटर ऑफ टू लिटिल टू लेट. हम बहुत थोड़ा सा कुछ कर पा रहे हैं, वो भी बहुत लेट. जब अर्थ का टेम्परेचर ऑलरेडी 1.5 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड बढ़ गया है। और सिर्फ टेम्परेचर ही नहीं बढ़ा है, हमारा जो वेदर सिस्टम है उस पर भी इफेक्ट पड़ने लगा है। मानसून चला जाना चाहिए तो फिर बारिश हो रही है। आईएमडी ने कहा कि साहब अक्टूबर में मानसून चला जाएगा, लेकिन हुआ क्या कि अक्टूबर में साइक्लोन आ गया, उड़ीसा और बंगाल में साइक्लोन आ गया, उसके बाद साउथ इंडिया में बेंगलोर में बारिश हो गई, और उसके बाद जो है वो केरला में बारिश हो गई। यानी जब मानसून को लौट जाना चाहिए था, मानसून दोबारा एक्टिव हो गया। वाई? बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सट्रीम हीटिंग ऑफ डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द लैंड मास, especially the cities and the urban centers which have become heat island, and once they have become heat island, they have started changing the wind pattern. रॉजर फेडरर एक बहुत फेमस टेनिस के प्लेयर हैं। He has lost his match to John Millman in New York, and he said that I have lost because of excessive heat in the arena. उन्होंने कहा कि मैं नहीं समझ रहा था कि इतना टेम्परेचर होगा, क्योंकि एवरेज टेम्परेचर हर जगह का बढ़ गया है। राइट साइड पे आपको पिक्चर दिख रही है कि लोगों ने ऑस्ट्रेलिया में 49 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड पे ऑमलेट बनाया इन दी सनशाइन। In 2019, the temperature in Australia has gone to almost 49.5 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड। इस पिक्चर के लेफ्ट साइड में आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया को देख रहे हैं, जिसमें लोग बीच के किनारे बैठे हुए हैं। Because the temperature has gone up to 49.5 degree centigrade. On the same, in the same time, in United States of America, the temperature was minus 40 degree centigrade. यानी कि the climate change is having both the extremities, extreme heating as well as extreme cooling. In right side picture, you can see the jeans pant, they are standing without any person into it. The jeans pant has got frozen and they are standing because of temperature that was minus 40 degree centigrade. 2024 was India's hottest year since records began in 1901. 1901 से जब से रिकॉर्ड हमने रखना शुरू किया तो 125 साल में हॉटेस्ट ईयर 2024 था। हो सकता है इस साल ये रिकॉर्ड फिर टूट जाए और 2025 हॉटेस्ट ईयर हो जाए। अब ये एक डेटा है जिसमें 3 ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के एपिसोड्स दिखाए गए हैं, 1860 टू 1880, 1910 टू 1940, 1975 टू 2005। ये 3 एपिसोड्स ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के हैं, लेकिन इसी में एक एपिसोड देखिए 1880 से लेके 1905 तक ग्लोबल कूलिंग का भी है। ग्रीन लाइन अगर आप देख पा रहे हो तो। ऐसे ही एक और पार्ट है जो मैंने ब्लू लाइन से शो किया। दिस इज आर इंक्रीज इन द एवरेज टेम्परेचर बट नॉट एट द स्पीड ऑफ प्रीवियस एपिसोड्स। सो अब ये पूरा ग्राफ अगर आप ले लें, इस पूरे ग्राफ को ले लें तो एक स्ट्रेट लाइन आपको मिल जाएगी ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की 2017 तक। तो 1950 से लेके 2017 तक का डेटा जो है वो ये बता रहा है कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो रही है विद टाइम। अब इसमें नेचुरल फैक्टर्स कितना है और ह्यूमन इंड्यूस फैक्टर कितना है। अब हीट तो हमारी जो मेन सोर्स है वो तो है सन। वैसे अर्थ की अपनी भी इंटरनल हीट होती है। अर्थ हैज इट्स ओन हीट व्हिच इट रिलीजेस। Earth's core, Earth's interior most part has got temperature of 6000 degrees centigrade. So the heat transfers from that core of the Earth towards the surface, but it is very, very less. This heat can be felt only in the glaciated region. This heat can be felt in the glaciated region. So if you see that greenhouse gases, all those gases जिसमें 2 लगा हो, H2O, CO2, CH4, N2O and SO2, they are all greenhouse gases. ये ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस ने हमारे टेम्परेचर को 33 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड बढ़ा के रखा है. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड वेनस पे 97% है. देखिए मरकरी का मैंने एवरेज टेम्परेचर आपको 165 बताया और वेनस पे 465, जबकि नंबर 2 पोजीशन पे है. वो 465 इसलिए है कि उनके एटमॉस्फेयर में 97% कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है. तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एमिशन जो है ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो कि हमारी हीट को बढ़ाने में रोल प्ले कर रहा है. रोल CH4 का भी है, H2O का भी है, नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड का भी है, सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड का भी है. बट द मेजर रोल इज फॉर हीट ट्रैपमेंट इज ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, जो कि उस हीट को रोक लेती है जो अर्थ पे से आके शिफ्ट होके बाहर जाना चाहती है, उसको ये ब्लैंकेट हमारा रोक लेता है. अब देखिए अर्थ जो है वो सन के चारों तरफ घूम रहा है, उसकी एक ऑर्बिट है और अर्थ अपनी एक्सिस पे भी रोटेट कर रही है. अर्थ जो है वो सूरज के चारों तरफ घूमती है ऑलमोस्ट एट द स्पीड ऑफ 465 किलोमीटर पर आवर. अब ये जो अर्थ का ऑर्बिट है ये अगर चेंज हो जाए, बाय द वे, इफ द ऑर्बिट ऑफ द अर्थ गेट्स चेंज्ड, देन द होल टेम्परेचर सिस्टम विल आल्सो चेंज ऑन द अर्थ. इसमें तो कोई डाउट है नहीं. लेकिन अर्थ का ऑर्बिट इतनी आसानी से चेंज होने वाला नहीं है. दूसरी चीज जो इंपॉर्टेंट है वो है अर्थ का अपनी एक्सिस पे रोटेट होना, जिससे सुबह और शाम होती है. वी हैव गॉट नाइट, मॉर्निंग. इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ रोटेशन ऑफ ऑन इट्स एक्सिस. सुहेला अदीब, प्लीज चेक योर माइक. प्लीज पुट ऑफ योर माइक. सुहेला अदीब. So if the rotation of the axis is there and if there is a change in the tilt, it is 21.5 degree. And if it changes, its tilt is changed, then what will happen? Everything will change. And it has been said that the 2004 earthquake and 2011 earthquake, 2004 earthquake which has taken place in Indonesia and 2011 earthquake which took place in Japan, both have resulted into generation of tsunami, which resulted into lot of movement and churning of ocean water or sea water. This has affected the Earth's axis and the tilt has changed. And if the tilt is changed, the overall temperature system of different latitude starting from equator to the pole will also change. Recently, I've got this news item on 12th January 25, which says that Earth's axis has changed from 23.5 to 31.5, which I have not been able to believe. This much change I am not been able to digest, but this has come in the newspaper, and the cause of this change was ascribed to the excessive withdrawal, or in fact almost total withdrawal of groundwater from the belly of the earth and making of thousands and thousands of dams on the earth's surface. So what we have done, we have emptied the earth's belly and we have put lot of water on the surface of the earth. This has started creating wobbling into the earth's axis, and that has also affected the overall temperature. It should affect the overall temperature system. So this is another natural cause which can be a important cause of global warming or change in the average temperature of different latitudes and different regions of the world. Another important thing is solar activity. Sometimes on sun surface, the activity of conversion of hydrogen, split of helium to hydrogen, and then fusion of two hydrogen to helium, which creates all the energy on the over the sun surface, becomes very hyper. And when this becomes very hyper, this will result into excessive generation of heat from the sun. And if there is an excessive generation of heat from the sun, of course, it will be felt by all other planets, including the Earth. I am showing you some of the sunspot activity which took place in 2017. Almost every alternate year, we have sunspot activity which creates solar flares or solar storms. Even this results into loss of telecommunication, which is based on satellite communication. Even aeroplanes, they lose their sight and signals and results into the crashes. Now, the greenhouse gas which we are generating through burning of coal and oil and plants and trees, they have artificial as well as natural source. Whatever gases we have in our atmosphere, they all have come through volcanism. They all have come through volcanism from the earth, which is called as mantle degassing. The gases have come from the interior of the earth through volcanic activity, and then they were trapped by our gravity into atmosphere, and they have become our atmosphere. If the earth's gravity is not 9.8 meter per second square, then many of the gases must have gone out, as the case with the other planet. So our size, our density, and our gravity also has played a very important role in holding these greenhouse gases. And if these greenhouse gases are not held back due to the gravity, then Earth's temperature will be minus 18 degrees centigrade. Now, whatever carbon dioxide is generated, it is supposed to be absorbed by the ocean water. Oceans are sink of carbon dioxide. They are supposed to absorb whatever carbon dioxide is naturally released onto the surface. But because we are releasing excessive carbon dioxide, oceans have not been able to absorb all those CO2. And because of that, CO2 in atmosphere becomes more. And when CO2 becomes more in atmosphere, we have more heating. Because of more heating, there is a melting of ice and glacier. Because of melting of ice and glacier, we have sea level rise. And because of sea level rise, we have coastal erosion and submergence of the land in the coastal area. If you can see the left side picture, we have different role of different activities in raising the sea level. In Pacific Ocean, there are islands which are barely 3 meters above the mean sea level. So there are many Pacific islands which are drowned because the sea water has risen by almost 1.65 meters. Even if there is no melting of glacier, then too, the sea level will rise because of simple warming. When we heat water on gas stove, if you put water onto the gas stove and you boil, the volume of water increases because of heating. So even if there is no melting of glacier, simple heating will increase the ocean water. And once the ocean water increases, then you will have coastal issues, coastal flooding, coastal erosion. You can see this picture I have taken in 2013, in which there is a protection of a coastal area in Goa. Protection by putting concrete tetrapods and concrete blocks. And why they need protection? Because of coastal erosion. Why there is a coastal erosion? Because of sea level rise. Why there is a sea level rise? Because of melting of ice and heating of sea water. Why there is a melting of ice and increase in the sea water level? Because of global warming. Why there is a global warming? Because of excessive emission of carbon dioxide. Why there is an excessive emission of carbon dioxide? Because of construction of cement, because of construction of aggregate, because of movement of material through trucks, and because of bringing them here to save our coastal areas. Means we are being caught in a vicious circle. The method we are adopting for protecting is actually releasing more carbon dioxide. So we have been caught in vicious circle. Now, can anybody tell me what is this going on in the video? Can anybody write in the message or can speak? What is this happening?
Is it a tectonic shift?
It is the tectonic plate. Very good. So this is a theory of continental drift, which was advanced into theory of plate tectonics, which says that all different parts of the land mass, they are moving from one place to another place. This almost 10 to 15-second video is actually telling us what has happened in last 65 million years. So you see, you can see India also. India is separating from Africa and Madagascar and then moving very fast upward. India has traveled almost 6,000 kilometers from southern hemisphere to present northern hemisphere. So if plates are moving, then the latitudes and longitudes are also changing. Almost each part of the land mass and ocean is moving at the rate of 5 to 10 centimeters per year. Hence, they are moving across the climatic belt. You see, we are always under movement. Our Earth is rotating around the sun at a speed of almost 465 kilometers per hour. We are spinning ourselves by sitting on the Earth's surface along its axis, which brings day and night at the speed of 1,400 kilometers per hour. And then we also have our ground, which is shifting below our foot at the rate of 5 to 10 centimeters per year. One of our very famous poet, Shahryar, has written, I don't know, with the understanding of plate tectonics or without the understanding of plate tectonics, that jo jahan bhi hai kadam jamaye rakhe, na jane kab zami chalne lage. So, जब से हमारा वर्ल्ड मैप बना है, तब से जब जो हमारे लैटिट्यूड एंड लॉन्गिट्यूड्स हैं, they are shifted by 2 to 4 meters. And that is the problem. We cannot have unmanned navigation of car or any vehicle on the road. Because all our latitude and longitudes, they are incorrect by 2 to 4 meters. And in fact, Australia has started redrawing its latitude and longitude. 5 to 10 centimeters per year, all the land mass is moving. And this is almost same the speed with which our nails are growing. We don't see our nails every day growing, but after a week we are able to see. I have tested it on my finger myself, and I have seen that in 6 months or 4 months, the ink has gone up to the top, traveled almost 1 centimeter. So with this rate, all the plates are moving, and when all the plates are moving, then they must also be changing their latitude and longitude, and so is the average temperature of individual places. Scientists even have started making conjecture that in coming 50 million years, we will have next new continent called as Asia. We are very keen to meet with the America. All Asia wants to meet America. One teacher has asked a student that why you are not learning geography. The student has answered that my father says that in the coming time, the map of the world is going to change. So when the map of the world is going to change, then why should I study geography? There are some indirect evidences. There are direct evidences using thermometer in last 150 years with the documentation, but we have indirect evidences in which we have got historical data from farmers' diaries, from newspapers, from travelers' diaries, and this also says that overall average temperature of each place is changing. We find at places some rocks, huge rock blocks, which cannot be brought in at this place without any support of glacier, because the rocks which are present here, they are not found some 30-40 kilometers around. How this rock has come? We didn't have crane. We didn't have heavy machines to bring them. Today we can do it. Such rocks are called as erratics. The presence of erratics is an indication that the glacier was here in some 300, 400, 500, 600 years ago. Today there is no glacier. That means it has melted. It has receded. So this is an indirect evidence. I have taken a picture in Sonmarg. You can see a huge rock block in the mid of the picture. Below that there is a tea stall also. And you can see the U-shaped valley. This is an indication of glaciated valley. But this rock is not around. This rock must have come when the glaciers used to come up to this place. So the presence of erratics, you can see the mountain top has lesser and lesser ice on the left side. Pictured at the same time in 1912, 1970, 2000 and 2006, you can see the reduction of ice. Reduction of ice is directly related to the excessive heat. Excessive heat will not allow the ice formation. Last year, there was a record of 130 year broken when Mount Fuji in Japan could not had ice. By the month of October, it should have had covered by ice. But up to 31st October, there was no ice. On 7th November, they could get the ice. So why there was no ice? Perhaps the temperature, higher temperature has not allowed the ice formation. Scientists have taken ice core from Antarctica. They have taken out bubbles from that ice core. They have studied the chemistry of that bubble in which gases are present. They have worked out that how much carbon dioxide was present 1 lakh years ago, 80,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago. They have made the data. They have got the record of 4,20,000 years based on the ice bubble chemistry. And the data from the ice suggests that up to 1875, the temperature has remained at one level, but from 1875, there is a rise and fall both as far as the average temperature is present of the globe. Similarly, scientists have studied stalactites and stalagmites. These are the rock hangings which are the result of calcium carbonate precipitation from drop of water into the caves, especially the caves made up of limestone. There you will find hanging from the top. They are called as stalactites. And when the water drops on the floor of the cave and then from the floor calcium carbonate starts growing, then it is called as a stalagmite. Scientists have studied stalactites and stalagmites. They have studied carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen isotope, and they have come out with this graph, which again shows that in last 100 years plus, we have increased the average temperature. Scientists have also studied the tree rings. They have taken carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and they have studied their isotopes, hydrogen 1, 2, and 3, carbon 16, 17, 18. And they have worked out that there are changes in the temperature as far as the formation of trees are concerned. Even the thermoluminescence studies of rocks, they have also indicated that from 1500 there is a starting of slight increase in the temperature. Then from 1850 onward, there is a lot of increase in the temperature. And why it is so? Because in last 50 or 70 years, the CH4 and carbon dioxide has increased manyfold. You can see almost a vertical line on the right side. The carbon dioxide has increased almost double, that is from 280 per part million to 550 per part million. So is the case with CH4. But CH4 is not that dangerous because its life is very less. The CH4 is reduced or is broken into its part in few months. But carbon dioxide takes years together to get split into carbon and oxygen by plants. So we have lot of nitrogen oxide in our atmosphere from fossil fuels and agriculture and land, CH4 from fossil fuels, agriculture and land, CO2 from fossil fuel, agriculture and land, and they are increasing. With the increase, the average temperature is also increasing, which has gone up to 1.5 to 1.6 degrees centigrade. Who is releasing? Who is releasing how much? So you can see there's a list of country on right-hand side and their contribution into annual greenhouse gas emission. So everybody is to be blamed. Nobody can be spared. Everyone has contribution towards increase of carbon dioxide. So what happens that the total solar energy which comes on the surface is almost 240 watt per square meter. If this 240 watt square meter goes out, then there is no problem. But what happens? It is only 175 watt goes out. Rest is left below the greenhouse gases, and that is creating heat. If we collect all the data, direct data, indirect data, instrumental data, reconstruction data, then this is the graph, which is an average of 1885 perhaps, in which you can see in the last there is a graph showing just like a hockey. This is a very famous research paper called as hockey stick paper, in which it is shown that the temperature rises just like a hockey stick. So it is not the natural cause, rather it is the anthropogenic cause which has created the global warming. So we cannot blame the nature. ये सूरज की साजिश नहीं है, खुद जमी सेक रहे हैं हम. We have got much more data. 1951, 1980 average, you can see that in last 200 years, 300 years, there is an extreme rise in the temperature. So why to worry this? Why to worry this change in the climate, the global warming? Because of extreme weather condition. Because of extreme weather condition. What is wrong with this letter? What is wrong with this letter?
WEATHER.
So there is a bad spelling. There is a bad spell of
Yes, yes.
weather. This is a bad spell of weather. And what the bad spell is, you can see like this. Within few hours, a cyclone tornado got developed very close to Aligarh and has killed 100 people in Mathura, Etawah, Agra, Aligarh, and Bulandshahr. The wheat field was just to be harvested. They have all caught fire. And the gust of wind was so strong that even loaded trucks, they have got topsy-turvy. So why should we worry about the extreme weather condition? There are some obvious reasons of global warming and melting of ice, more runoff of sweet water, loss of sweet water, increased desertification, more humidity, severe weather conditions, sea level rise. But there is one green aspect, is that agriculture produce may increase because of greenhouse gas effect. There are less obvious reasons, that is of local to regional migrations of not only animals but also of human beings. You must be hearing lot of panthers and tigers, they are going out of forest. So animal migration is taking place, increase in new diseases. Every year we have new diseases. Every year we have new variant of COVID. Thermohaline conveyor. The ocean water current system gets disturbed and that starts creating El Nino and La Nina, which results into the change in the weather system. Changed agricultural pattern, animal migration, ecological imbalance, loss of biodiversity, and ultimately whatever we have excessively produced as an agriculture produce because of greenhouse gases, we will lose all this because of extreme weather condition of cyclone and whatnot. Humans can adopt. Humans can adopt, at least up to some extent, the global warming, even the global cooling. But what will happen to animals? How they will be able to adopt? Ultimately, they will vanish. They will start getting extinct. And they will be more and more in the endangered list of animals. 95 dead as flash floods sweep through Spain. Unprecedented. Dubai, a desert, flooded like a biblical flood. Biblical flood, which has mentioned in Quran and Bible that in the time of Noah there was a flood. All those who came into the boat of Noah, they were saved, and rest have got drowned. So similar kind of floods we are having everywhere, not only in Dubai, everywhere. But there is no Noah to save us. एक नूह ही नहीं जो हमें किश्ती में बिठा ले, वरना आसार तो मौजूद हैं तूफान के सारे. Extreme fire in Uttarakhand especially. Forget about California. Forget about Italy and Greece. The forest fire we are not able to douse, especially in Indian condition where we don't have any infrastructure for dousing the forest. We just bank on the rain, and the rain is delayed. Rain is delayed. Raging Uttarakhand wildfire disrupt normal life. Where will the Uttarakhandi go when everything is going to burn? Driest post-monsoon period recorded in Uttarakhand in last 5 years. Drier the weather, more is the forest. Dry grass, pine, fuel, rapid spread of wildfire. Last time it came close to the Nainital. This November warmest on record in North India. So we keep on hearing such news. I have taken a photograph on December 1st at Lucknow railway station. December 1st seems to be supposed to be very cold, but the fan is running because there was no cold. The temperature has already risen to 1.5 degree above average. Now you cannot bring it back to the previous level. But we are fighting that at least it should not further increase and it should not go up to 2 degrees centigrade. There is a fight of only half degree centigrade. Even if we are not able to control this 1.5 degree centigrade temperature, and if it reaches to 2 degrees centigrade, then there will be loss of plant and animal life. There will be loss of coral reefs, coral life, sea level will rise, and crops will start failing. Just at the difference of 1.5 to 2 degrees centigrade. If 6% of insects are going to loss, if the temperature becomes 2 degrees centigrade, it will be 18%. The ice from the Arctic Sea will vanish. And if this vanishes, then it will have an effect on microclimate of that area. Extreme heat condition will become norm, which we are facing. And then there will be water scarcity. So there are a lot of issues. Because of climate change. खराब जलवायु जनित खतरों से घिरने लगे दुनिया के तमाम शहर. ...2024 was a red alert year for the earth. 2024 was the red alert year for the earth. Now, this much about the issue of climate change. Now, the problem of pollution. Human-induced climatic disorders is climate change, and human-induced environmental disorder is pollution. Now, which one is the bigger issue? किस इशू को हम ज्यादा बड़ा मानते हैं? Again, the questions which I have asked, I am just skipping it. Some of you have already answered. The pollution results into death of 100 people every 30 minutes. Lakh of people in the world are threatened by new threats of Zika, Ebola, Nympha, dengue, cancer, flu, diabetes, corona, etc. Polluted drinking water and our atmosphere with no means of control are taking toll on human life. Global burden of diseases has said that in 2015, every 1 lakh people of India, 138 died because of pollution. In 2024, the news came that because of air pollution, every day 464 kids are dying. In 2021, more than 1,69,400 kids have died which had age less than 5 years. With increasing temperature, there are a lot of diseases which are going to increase their lethality. They will become more lethal. Temperature बढ़ने से डेंगू भी हो रहा असरदार. Means dengue is more lethal. And why this air pollution? Mostly because of vehicles. Mostly because of industries. Industry growth in leaps and bounds, and especially the vehicle industry growing leap and bound. They are actually creating the problem. Now it is written 7 years ago. So this is a very old news. It should be 17 years from today. The pollution level has gone down in Delhi. I am giving example of Delhi. The pollution level from 2000 has gone down up to 2007 and then again it started increasing. Why this has gone down? Because of CNG. Conversion of vehicles to CNG. But CNG is still there. But then why the pollution is going up? The reason is the number of vehicles have increased many-fold. The number of vehicles have increased many folds. In 2016, I have got this data which says that out of 10 most selling drugs in India, have 5 for diabetes. Number 1, 2, 6, 7, and 10. 5 medicines are of diabetes and rest 5 medicines are for different ailments. Why we have become diabetic capital of the world? Why India has become diabetic capital of the world? Diabetes medicines have rebound, viral beaten back. Diabetic meds sales rebound in April. Due to COVID, the sale of medicines which used to treat viral fever and all those have taken a leap. But now, from 2023 onward, again the diabetic medicines have taken their place. What could be the reason? Bad air linked to diabetes. India at greater risk. Because you cannot hold the bad air. You cannot hold the polluted air. You will come out. You will breathe. We are dying by breathing. Let Delhi breathe. Why should only Delhi breathe? Why not other cities should also breathe? Why only Delhi? Because pollution is everywhere. You cannot stop pollution. Cities air hazardous on 241 days in 2024. 241 days were having hazardous air. So this is the biggest problem. ऋतुओं को निगलने लगा प्रदूषण. Supreme Court refuses to relax GRAP 4 measures last winter. Why would tourists visit Uttarakhand if air here becomes like Delhi's NCR? Lot of people have left Delhi and went to Uttarakhand, but Uttarakhand is equally polluted, especially the Dehradun and Masroor. Death by breath. Around NCR, each and every city is highly polluted. Both are contributing to each other. Delhi is contributed to NCR region, NCR region is contributing to Delhi. And why to say only NCR region? All big cities and around is full of pollution. How can we check that pollution? We can have Swachh Bharat Abhiyan on the ground. We can just clean our premises. But what about problem of air pollution? How can we make Swachh the air? That is the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem which we are facing. Government is putting a lot of money. But what to do with the waste which we are cleaning around in our house, around our campuses, where this waste is going down? The waste is creating hills of waste in almost every city. This is a picture of Ghazipur landfill site, wherein there was a landslide of waste and which resulted into killing of 2 people. In India, we have more than 5,000 waste disposal sites, out of which almost 500 waste disposal sites need to be immediately closed. But we don't have any alternate space to dump our waste. So the waste generation has become a very big problem. How to reduce the waste should be the motto. If you can see, this is a packet of biscuit in plastic, and each biscuit is being further wrapped into a plastic so that its crispness remains there. To maintain the crispness of biscuit, each biscuit is wrapped into a plastic, and then we have a plastic box. So just imagine in eating this cookies and biscuit, how much waste we are going to generate. And because of this reason, from year 2000 to 2015, the waste has risen by 2075% in Delhi. Just imagine, it is not doubled, it is not tripled, it is not 4 times or 5 times. It is 2075% times in Delhi and 1750 times in Bangalore. This data I got collected in November 2017. And which city has the minimum waste? Which city has the minimum waste generation? Kolkata. Why? Perhaps because of simple living. I have got a data today itself, 25/25 today. In my newspaper, there is a news item, buried in garbage, poisoned by leachate. India's mounting waste crisis. India's mounting waste crisis. If you can see this graph, city-wise solid waste management snapshot, Delhi produces 11,000 tons per day and 160 lakh ton it already has. Yani there is a legacy waste and the waste generated every day. What will happen? Where will it go? Mumbai 8,000 tons per day and 245 legacy waste. 245 lakh ton. So the biggest issue is waste disposal, and even bigger is waste generation. We are generating waste much more as we used to in our childhood life. Disease caused by Meerut waste ground claims 22 lives. If you enter Meerut from Bulandshahr side, you will be meeting the big waste disposal site. Should Meerut suffer to keep Ghaziabad clean? The cleaning which we see around us is actually creating waste and is being dumped somewhere else. So the thing is that we have to check the waste generation. Are we a filthy nation? Are we do not care about what we are doing? We do not bother where our waste go out once it is out of our house. Juhi Chawla ने उठाया काठमांडू में प्रदूषण का मुद्दा. She didn't find any प्रदूषण in India. She went all together to Kathmandu to raise this issue. India Today 1993 has published a cover story, "Can we clean the mess of waste?" And then after 21 years, again it has to publish the cover story, "The Dirty Nation." That means in 21 years, we could not do anything. If you can see this picture in the background, you can see the Taj Mahal, and in the foreground, you can see the waste. Garbage is a collector's item. We should not throw garbage every day outside our house if it is not going to rotten. Collect it and give to the rag pickers. They have to pick from the waste side. Give them directly from your house without any cost. All those what we call kabadi walas who come to our house and take raddi and all those, give them everything free. They are doing a very good service to the nation. You can see I have collected all my medicine wrappers in a box and I give it to that person because it has aluminum. I don't throw it into the dustbin. So if we are creating pollution, it is we who will suffer first. If we are creating more carbon dioxide, it is we who will suffer first. मौसम बदल रहा है, अब हवा में नए ताजा प्रदूषण की गंध. And what industry will come out? It will come out with some gadget as an air purifier. Put in your house and get purified air and help a business grow. Smoke towers have started coming into all our metropolitan cities. At different crossroads, we had smoke towers. So this is again making boom out of doom. First create doom and then make boom. So this is the bigger issue. Now what is being transpired? To check all these issues, what is being done? 190 countries agreed to protect 30% of planet by 2030. Not today, 2030. Everything is in future. Environmental conferences started happening from 1972 to till date. I have listed some of the important ones: 1987, 1995, 1997, 2000, 2001, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Every year we have international heads. They are coming together, the leaders and the industries and whatnot. They come and they get together and then they flew back to their houses, but no result. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There was no conference in 2020. Then again we have 2021 COP27, that is Conference of Parties. Then COP28 in 2023, so COP29 in Azerbaijan, perhaps Baku, and next perhaps we have in Brazil. So in this way, we are just discussing and with no result. India rejects weak climate finance outcome of COP29. Climate finance goal needs to be 1.3 trillion. COP29 a cop out, but 3 reasons why India should not give up on it. India slips to 10th in climate change performance index. India ranks 26th in Children's Climate Risk Index. UNICEF says urgent action is needed. So actually the issue is of economics, industrialization, resource, livelihood, which is directly related to the emission. We have different kinds of groups of different countries: developed countries, underdeveloped countries, developing countries, poor underdeveloped countries, association of low-lying countries. 40 countries are there. Low-lying means if the global warming takes place, the glaciers start melting, their countries will be drowned. Alliance of Latin America and Caribbean countries, India and neighbors separate pressure group. We have a lot of groups and the politics between these groups goes and goes and goes. What could be the solution? From where the solution will come? Within the society, within the region, within countries, between countries, among group of countries. We have diverse interest groups, but no solution has come yet. Individuals have started to highlight the issue because there is no time to lose. We are already late. You must have known this girl when she was in class 7 or 8. She started a strike on every Friday in schools in Sweden, Greta Thunberg. And she said that you are not going to leave a world in future 20-25 years which will be livable. You have ignored us in the past, and you will ignore us again. So she became symbol of environmental consciousness and fight. She became the leader, and students have started following her. Teens emerge as a force in climate protest. Teens emerge as a force in climate protest. Lot of people are trying different ways. Man walks 700 kilometers backward to highlight the deforestation. Climate activists to use drones to shut UK airport. Why CSIR scientists ring in wrinkled Mondays to fight climate change. 4 persons killed every week in 2017 for fighting for climate change. David Beckel, a senator in the United States, has said that stop using petrol and diesel because it is going to burn the earth. And he put oil onto himself and lit match to himself that in this way, as I am dying, the world will die. He died because of burn injuries which he has inflicted himself. So there are a lot of individuals who have started. Meet the various moms fighting for clean air. Those moms whose children, they are asthmatic. They cannot breathe. So they have started fighting, though at a very small level. So IIT professor wants everyone, even PM Modi, to wear wrinkled clothes. Let's not iron our clothes to save the electricity, and while saving electricity, we may say save carbon dioxide. 1,000 march against air pollution 2024 in Macedonia. 1.5 is dead. Climate activists paint on Darwin's grave to protest temperature rise. Extreme protest. They have written 1.5 degree is dead at the Darwin's. जलवायु पर जागने लगे भारतीय शहर. I don't know how much. A panacea has come in the form of solar energy. Everybody is going for solar energy. This is the plant in our university, which is ground-mounted plant. We have solar panels almost on each of our building, and then we have a huge ground-mounted solar plant, and we are trying to generate electricity. Climate change does not respect border. It does not respect who you are, rich and poor, small and big. Therefore, this is what we call global challenge, which requires global solidarity. Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General of United Nations, who hears him. Sarpalli Radhakrishnan, on whose birthday we have our Teachers' Day, he has said that the human being is nothing more than the latest of a long series of living creatures. Even if evolution of life does not proceed higher than the human species, science threatens us with the possibility of its extinction. The humanity has evolved. In last 560 million years, when life came onto the earth, from that time, all life have grown, and then in last 2 million years, humans have come onto this earth's surface. Now, if this world was made just to create human, and there is no further evolution, we have evolved from chimpanzee and like, are we going to change in something else? If no, that means if the evolution stops at this stage, then our own follies, our own scientists will result into our own extinction. There is no life on other planets because their scientists were more advanced. we had 5 extinctions. 5 times in last 550 million years, 5 times 75 to 85% of life has been lost. So first was graptolite and trilobite. First was graptolite, then it was trilobite, then tabulate coral, 96% of a species lost. Then we had 200 million years back, we have another extinction. Then 65 million years back, we have another extinction in which dinosaurs have got extinct. So 5 extinctions have already taken place, and scientists who are working in this field, they are saying that we are heading towards 6th extinction. Elizabeth Colbert has written a very good book which says that we have started the 6th extinction. Let's see how much time it is going to take. We have different scientists who are working to check this climate change. They are coming up with the geoengineering solutions, how to check the climate change, but it is still in a very initial stage. And let's see that what will happen in future. Geoengineering might be a way of buying more time or forestall a climate catastrophe, but it is not a get out of jail card. We can have some technology to check this, but it can be very short and very localized. What an individual can do. We have made a list of days related to the environment and climate and whatnot to be observed. But observing these days on the D-Day is not going to help. We have to observe all these days all through the year. Save people, reform the cities. Save paper, save trees. The best idea, the best way is to have the plantation. We are into a materialistic society. We are having a lot of material into our houses, and that is creating the problem. We have forgotten to ride cycles. We all have 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers. We have made a graveyard of cycle in Saharanpur, left by the laborers who have come to Saharanpur from Haryana and Punjab in COVID. In Denmark, the population of Copenhagen is 6 lakh, and they have 6,50,000 cycles. So everybody owns every cycle. What we are doing in IPL, we have pledged that on every dot ball, 500 trees will be planted. But let's see that where they are going to plant. Global warming, local laparwahi, global warming. So if we start working locally, we can have some effect. Last year, the heat was so much that the municipal corporation has to put an artificial shade on all the crossroads. You can see the green sheet has been put on all the crossroads. People have started writing book, How to Survive Global Warming Survival Kit. This is a painting in Fortis Hospital. This painting is trying to emphasize that we should have more greenery around us, because more greenery will give you clean air, which will be good for our lungs. But at the same time, they have put plastic plants in their internal premises. So this is called paradox. This is called paradox. We are putting plastic flowers in our houses, not the real flowers. And even we are watering also those plastic flowers. This is the picture of those from Aligarh. They must recognize it. It is around Lal Dighi, where the commissioner of Smart City project has his wall adorned with the plastic grass. See, the officials, they have the grass onto their walls that is of plastic, and they have put the slogan Green Aligarh, Clean Aligarh. Green Aligarh does not mean that you paint everything green. Green means plantation. I am left with 4 or 5 slides only. If you can see this, the leaves of a plant, they are all being snatched. They are all injured by passers-by. By passers-by. So we should not harm the trees. If you can see this picture, this is in my own university. The tree is Ashoka tree. They have been given different shapes, but Ashoka tree is not meant for this. Ashoka tree is 40-foot high tree with a girth of twigs and branches in almost 100 square feet. But what we are doing with the trees? It is the leaf which is going to absorb carbon dioxide and give us oxygen, not the stems. And ultimately what happens, if you can see, in 2020 they were having some leaves. In 2022, 2 trees have already died. So tree has to be in full growth unless it is having some danger. दुआ करो कि सलामत रहे शजर का बदन, बहारे बरगो समर आती जाती रहती. Pray that the body of tree remains alive. Spring with flowers and fruits will keep coming and going. But tree has to be there. The tree has to be there. When the COVID period came and there was a full lockdown, all the trees, they have regained their original posture. All their leaves, they become good. Even the footpaths were taken by the flowers themselves without any sowing. They have grown by themselves and they have taken over the footpath. That means they have taken over the anthropogenic system. But today we are not observing all these things in a true sense. Urban renewal, smart city project is a knockdown, drag out business. It is much easier to create a desert than a forest. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree long time ago. We are very happy in pruning the trees and cutting the trees. Even a blade of grass is going to give you oxygen. Our Vice Chancellor has said, one of the Vice Chancellor has said, even a blade of grass gives you oxygen. एक अगर घास मार्च पे अगर उगाए तो हमारे लिए कितनी बड़ी बात हो जाएगी. But we don't honor the grass on the land. We don't honor the vegetation on the land. और अगर हमने वेजिटेशन को फुल सप्लाई, फुल हैंड दे दिया तो ये सब कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड वगैरह का इशू रिजॉल्व हो जाएगा. Why the happiest country cannot stop greening? Finland is at number 1 as far as the weather and climate is concerned. But still they are growing trees. उनको जरूरत भी नहीं है, then too they are growing the trees. How can we lose the cool in this weather because of climate change? How do you explain your bad behavior, climate change? Everything now we are linking to the climate change. But we have to think very seriously. If we pollute air, water and soil that keep us alive and well and destroy the biodiversity that allows natural system to function, no amount of money will save us. घर के गुलदानों में शाहिद फूल होंगे कागजी और पर्दों पर प्रिंटेड तितलियां रह जाएंगी. The flower pots will have flowers made up of paper or plastic, and on curtains we will have butterfly printed. The last slide for all of you. There is a proverb, जान है तो जहान है. Everybody knows. जान है तो जहान है. But one of our alumnus, Rajan Habib Khwaja, who was Secretary in Ministry of Environment, and he is ex-MD Coal India Limited, he said, Jahan hai to jaan hai. Now we have to save the Jahan, that is the earth. Our founder, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, was lampooned in 1887 through a cartoon, and it is written Nachari Jogi. Nachari Jogi means a person who is loving nature. He has become Jogi and playing with snakes and what you call cactus and snake plants and all those. He has foreseen the future, that we have to protect each and everything. Even if tiger, snake, they are harmful, but we have to preserve them. because of biodiversity. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a
Anybody wants to ask anything? Or anyone wants to comment? Please comment in the
Sir,
message.
sir, I have a question.
Ji, Bindu
Sir,
Sahab. Ji.
do we have any? Can I ask?
Yes, Rahul
Yeah.
Chakrabarti.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do we have any data as to what the temperature was like during the corona period? Because with all activities suspended, we might assume that there was a drastic
Yes,
drop in the.
I have forgotten to mention, it has
Yeah.
dropped to
Okay.
0.25 degree centigrade.
Okay.
In that 2 or 3 months, especially in 2022, the overall temperature and pollution level both have dropped.
No, sir. In fact, if that is the case, then I think we have got much reason to be hopeful about, because once we can curb our consumption, then I think everything will be back to normalcy.
Yes, we have to return a little back
Yeah,
in
that's
our
it.
lifestyle. Yes,
Mhm,
thank
mhm.
you.
Okay.
Others can write message, and if they have any comment or anything.
yes, participants. If you have any questions, you can put forth. As our time is over,
Yes.
yes.
So
So
thank
I would
you all.
like to call upon Srijit sir, Department of Chemistry of Grace Valley College, to present a vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Okay, I think I am audible.
Yes.
Okay. Respected Principal Dr. Usman sir, and the respected coordinator Sida Lakshmi, and today's chief guest Masroor Alam sir. On behalf of Grace Valley College and Aligarh Muslim University, I would like to extend sincere thanks to our distinguished guest, Professor Masroor Alam sir, for the enlightening talk on climate change, pollution, waste management, and biodiversity conservation. I also thank all attendees for your presence and attention. And let's take today's message forward and work collectively toward a sustainable future. With the permission of the chair, let me declare the session concluded. And thank you all. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you
you.
very much, sir, for the wonderful session. I think everyone, as teachers, not only teaching is not a part, we have to know what is going on in the environment, and I think we can bring lot of changes through our students and the community. And thank you for sending the message, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay. You are from which place?
I'm from Kerala, sir.
Which
Kerala,
place? Which place?
Malappuram.
Malappuram. Okay. Center.
Okay.
University sector.
Grace Valley College
Grace
of Arts
Valley.
and Science.
Okay. I have been to Malappuram and Kozhikode very often.
Oh, okay. Malappuram, where did you visit?
In 2022, December.
Huh.
Just in the COVID period, at the end
Oh.
of the COVID period. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine.
Okay. Thank you.
When you visit again, please visit our college.
Yes.
You're always welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.